Hi, I'm Nicky Clements, and this is just some video of me attempting to install a new battery into my old first-gen iPad Pro. I had an entirely different video in mind for today, but I really just wasn't feeling up for it, and this has been on my to-do list for a little while now, so I figured I might as well film this part and try and make a video out of it, and if I succeed, I get an iPad and a video, and if I don't succeed, at least I still get a video. Anyway, I bought this iPad back in 2016, and I used it for a few years, until giving it to my mom at the beginning of 2020, when she needed a way to FaceTime with clients that like to use Apple products. And she's been using it ever since. As we know, even after the threat of COVID lessened, it seemed like virtual was still here to stay. However, she recently retired and didn't really have a need for it. So as we were packing up her office, I walked over to where she had her iPad stationed and noticed that it looked a little different. The screen was almost completely separated from the back of the iPad, bulging in the middle. And somehow it wasn't cracked and it was still working perfectly normal. She claims it had to have only recently happened because she certainly thinks she would have noticed it. I certainly did. Now, she pretty much had it permanently plugged in for the entire couple years that she was using it, and I imagine the batteries didn't really like that much. I think the main issue might have been leaving it plugged in for that long and then unplugging it on occasion and then plugging it back in. Either way, it causes the batteries to inflate like giant pillows, but thankfully they never exploded or caught fire or actually did any real damage to the iPad that I can tell. If you look at them side by side with the new battery, it's pretty hard to tell, but I think you can see which one is the old one and which one is the new one. But I ordered the replacement battery from iFixit. The battery cost $49. I bought the adhesive strips as well. That was another $10. With shipping and tax, that brought the cost of doing this repair up to about 68 bucks. I was able to get the new battery put in relatively okay. I did try and reposition it at one point, which wasn't a good idea. I should have just left it. It didn't even make a difference, but it seemed like it was fine. But I would have preferred having not done that. I forgot to move and plug in the ribbon cable for the camera. Luckily, I was able to warm it out without having to undo everything I just did, and was able to get that plugged in. Putting the new adhesive on the screen was a bit finicky, but I got it on there well enough. And getting the screen plugged back into the motherboard is definitely tricky. The cable's quite short, you don't have a lot of room to work. But I eventually got what I assume is the plug for the display and the other plug, which is probably the touchscreen, plugged in. And then I figured I might as well do a quick test to see if it even powers on. And it actually powered on. Oh my god. That's great. I powered it off so I could finish the repair. I should have tested to see if the touchscreen worked. That might come back and bite me. But moving on. I got the backing of the adhesive peeled off and pressed down in place. It fit perfectly and looked real good. Powered it on again. Well, crap. The touchscreen doesn't work? Oh, it does work. That was bizarre. It seems to work fine. What was the password? Hey, this is a perfectly fully functioning iPad. That's amazing. It works. Camera works. Well, that's cool. I was not hopeful for that to go that well. It still could have gone better, but it went pretty well. There's only 2 missing screws, so that's pretty good. It's also really nice we didn't run into anything like, hey, this isn't a genuine battery and it wasn't installed by a Apple genius, so we're bricking your iPad and screw you type thing. So seems like right to repair is doing well, at least in this case. And hey, the Apple Pencil works too. That's awesome. But that's it for this one. Thanks for hanging out while I did this repair. That was quite nerve-wracking, but I'm really glad it went as well as it did, and I have this iPad back, which is even cooler. But my sincere thank you for watching. Once again, I am Nick D. Clements. If you're wondering, Nick is short for Nicholas, and the D stands for Disassemble. Anyway, I'm off to make something else. Do I have to take all these off? This whole panel? Oh, those are both the batteries. Shit.